Hey, Detroit, Detroit, Detroit. This is TJ Hemphill, and you are joining us in Seasoned and Spicy. That, well, she's kind of representing Spicy tonight because you probably guessed that Spicy's not with me tonight. She's, I'm not sure what she's doing, but she's somewhere and she couldn't be here tonight. So we excuse her. So we have a sit in for her. Welcome aboard. This is the African Queen here. She's representing Spicy tonight. I know it's. I know some of you said, you know what, TJ, you have lost your mind. Not really. I'm still here. I'm okay. All is well. I just thought we'd need some representation. Do you all like Spicy? Comment in the comment section. Tell me what you think of my African Queen here. Okay. Now, again, we just are glad to be here tonight. Let me give you a phone number because I really need your support. I need you to call in tonight and talk to me in terms of some of the things that we're going to be talking about tonight. And so if you don't have the call-in number, I'm going to give it to you right now. Okay, the number is 313-859-8858. I'm going to do it again, 313-859-8858. So make sure you call in and join in with me and as we discuss the various issues of today in this world today. You know, it's a crazy world out there right now. Good Lord Almighty. I mean, there's so much stuff happening. It's hard to know exactly what to cover. I can tell you one thing that I want to cover now, and that's the flailing Detroit Tigers. Detroit Tigers are just losing it, ladies and gentlemen. You know, they were 14 games up on Cleveland just a few weeks ago. And now they're only 6 games up on Cleveland. And Cleveland is winning at a much higher percentage, and Detroit is failing. Do we need a new manager? I don't know. Nick, what do you think? You think we need a new manager? Huh? Just a few weeks ago. Okay. All right. I'm getting some feedback. We're gonna get it together here. Anyway, the Detroit Tigers are just really flailing, but I'm excited. I'll tell you who I really am excited about, and that's the Lions and the Pistons. You know, they seem to be getting some decent play. You know what? I wish Detroit had gone out, the Pistons that is, and got a real heavy duty kind of player. But maybe they can win like the old school Pistons. You remember Ben Wallace and Rick Hamilton and Tayshaun Prince and Chauncey Billups. And who did they have? They had the center. What was the center's name? Oh, God, I can't think of his name. Rasheed Wallace. So the two Wallaces, man, those boys had a great team. Now, if you agree with me, come on. I need you to comment and say, yeah, tell me that you agree with me. So anyway, we are excited and we're glad, you know, that you could join in with us. And we're talking about the Detroit Tigers for a moment and the Detroit Pistons. What about those Lions? Are the Lions going to the Super Bowl this year? Come on, somebody just call in. Let me know. Are they going to the Super Bowl this year? Will they make it? I'll tell you one thing, and Nick, and I don't know if you know anything about this guy, Micah Parsons from the Dallas Cowboys. This guy is a generational talent. He's probably the best edge rusher in the whole NFL. He plays for Dallas. He wants a contract that will at least match what Myles Garrett is getting, and that's $41 million a year. So when you start thinking about somebody who's making $41 million in terms of Myles, and Micah is putting out much more than Myles, then he should get $41 million at least.
He ain't putting out as much.
Trust.
He's up there, but he ain't putting out as much.
Okay. Now I want you to do. I want you to check your resources. You know, call in. You know, do what you got to do. You know, Google it. How many sacks did Micah Parsons have last year compared to the number of sacks that Myles Garrett had? Okay. In any event, I think we should go after this guy, and it's going to be really fun watching Detroit Lions if they pick up Micah Parsons. What I hear though is that Aiden Hutchinson is really turning it out in practice. What do you think, Spicy? Well, she didn't want to say anything tonight. She's just staying quiet. Okay, all right, that's cool. You ain't got to say nothing. Okay, sometimes it's best to keep your mouth shut. So it's all good. Miles Garrett's got what? How many?
Miles Garrett, 14 sacks. Michael Parsons, 12.
Okay, 14 and 12.
Yeah.
How many quarterback pressures? Because that's what changes things. Quarterback pressures. Do I have some men out there, some brothers out there that know something about football? Don't leave me hanging. Okay, don't leave me hanging. Wow. So while he's looking that up, one of our favorite topics, of course, is the Donald Trump thing. But before I get to Trump, because he is involved in this this next news piece, the question is, I want to ask this question to my generation. What do you call these guys? Generation Z? Is it Z? B? What is it today? Is it Z?
Talking about my generation?
Your generation. Z. I wonder why they call it Generation Z.
Because they forgot letters in the alphabet.
He said they forgot the letters in the alphabet, so they just went straight to Z. Okay. So now, if all of you bright and intellectual, sagacious people out there, if you know why they call it Generation Z, just put it in the comment section. Okay. Put it in the comment section. All right. But Generation Z, here's what I want to know. Why is it that Generation Z doesn't seem to have a proclivity towards understanding politics, and dealing with politics? I mean, when you think about it, politics determine educational institutions. It determines health benefits and social security and all of these things, national security. Why is it that this generation doesn't seem to take a real interest in politics? I'm just saying, why? What's the answer? Anybody know the answer out there? Help me out.
I would say part of it is because we've been told so long that let me correct.
All right, make it short. Because I know Nick will preach. Nick will preach if you let him. We're going to raise an offering.
Parents told us that some of our opinions did not matter, so he was like, let's fix it ourselves instead of going through the system.
But here's the thing. Okay, so the parents, some parents said the opinions didn't matter. But here's the thing. I'm talking about 18, 19, 20-year-olds who have the ability to vote. So if you can vote, your opinion can influence where this country is going.
Well, why would you put your opinion in a broken system?
But you see, here's the thing.
Instead of making a new system.
Here's the thing. It's going to stay broken until you get people in it that can change it. That's the key. See that the system is never going to change until and unless people understand that you got to vote. We got a big, important vote coming up here in November. The election, the two candidates who will be running off against each other is Reverend Solomon Kinloch and also Mary Sheffield, council president. Okay, so for people who are just logging in, I'm asking the question: why do we not have more interest coming from our young people, the so-called Generation Z? I'm going to tell you something, Generation Z. I hope that I hope that 10 years from now, people don't label you as Generation Zombies. Because if you're walking around delusional and not caring, that's really what you're like. It's like a zombie. Okay. The number is 313-859-8858. Speaking of zombies, my granddaughter was in a play called Zombie here a couple days ago. And it was a fantastic play. She did such a great job. I was so proud of her. But anyway, I'm just saying, we got to get interested. We got to get we got to get the young people interested in understanding what's happening in our country and why it's important that they participate, why it's important that their voices be heard, why it's important that they go to the polls. in November here in Detroit, at least, it's a very important election. Each candidate has something to bring to the table, and you get to voice your opinion about who you want to be the next mayor of the city of Detroit. Okay. All right. All right. Moving on. Moving on. And I think my mic here is a little bit too hot. Let me see if I can turn it down a bit. All right. There you go, sir. Thank you very much. All right. So let's go. Let's talk about Diddy. Sean Diddy Combs. Spice, what do you think about Diddy? You like it? You know what, Spice? You ain't said a word tonight. So you know what? I'm about to dismiss you. Sean Diddy Combs. Okay, you all know the story. He was being charged with sex trafficking and conspiracy and racketeering and all of that kind of stuff. They didn't get him on the serious charges, okay? But he was found guilty on 2 counts of transportation to engage prostitution, but was acquitted, of course, of the sex trafficking and the racketeering conspiracy. He was denied bail. Do you think Diddy should have received bail? Anybody out there want to comment? Please, let me know. Do you think he should have gotten bail? Okay, but he was denied it. He's asked for it several times, and he obviously, at least the judge feels that he obviously is a flight risk. When you are a flight risk, you get denied bail, and that's the story when it comes to that. And I just think that Sean Diddy Combs, I really feel sorry for him. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Now, somebody say, well, you don't feel sorry for him because the man has millions. Okay. Now, okay, I get it. So he's got millions. I get it. But he represents Black people to a reasonable degree. Let's be honest. You guys been dancing to his music. You've been singing to his music. You got to understand that somehow or another, Sean Diddy Puffy Combs, he got so many names. I don't know. So we've got some people watching. April Lundy, thank you for tuning in. I got a special guest that's going to come on a little bit later. She's tuned in already. Ed Gaines, my man. That's my boy. That's my golfing buddy and my ride or die. He's very, very wonderful young man. Pam Stokes, thank you so much for watching, and sharing. But now let's talk about this. Sean Diddy Combs, okay? He turned to Trump. He's turning to Trump for a pardon, okay? He is asking his legal team. His legal team has contacted Donald Trump's administration to request a pardon. Do you think he's going to get it? Here's what Trump said about Combs. He said, I was friendly with him. I got along with him great, and he seemed like a nice guy. I didn't know him well, but when I ran for office, Trump said he was very, and I'm quoting him, he says he was very hostile. Okay. That doesn't sound so good for Diddy, okay, because Trump is remembering how hostile you were toward him, Mr. Combs. And so I don't know if he's going to get bail. I don't know if he's going to get pardoned. I mean, you would think that he might. So who knows? Who knows what Trump's going to do? Nobody knows what Trump's going to do. Trump is always unhinged and off the chain. Okay, so I'm moving right along. Why is Trump hit? And this is a question that I hope somebody can answer for me. Why is Trump so obsessed with Obama, Barack Hussein Obama? Why is he so obsessed with our former president, first Black president of these United States? A man who I feel did a very good job. Could he have done more? Well, a lot of people say he could have, and he should have. A lot of people say he should have done more for Black people. All right, Black people, he should. He should. Okay, I get you. But at the same time, you got to understand, a president is supposed to represent all the people, unlike the current president. Okay, Obama has to. Spicy, what do you think about that? Okay, she still ain't talking. But the president is supposed to represent all of the people. All of the people. I like, you know what I like? I like Spicy's hairstyle. Is that, you think that's a style, or Is that hair or is it just a piece? I don't know. But it looks nice. Very, very pristine and elegant and queenly like. Okay. You know what? I better put Spicy away because, some people are going to say TJ done lost his mind. You're right. I have. Let me put it away. Okay. Is that better for you all? Okay. I'm not trying to rail on the black women. I mean, black women are beautiful. They are beautiful. And Spicy, wherever you are, I hope you're enjoying yourself. I hope that you're enjoying yourself. But why is Trump so obsessed with Obama? I don't understand it. He is so obsessed with Obama. He tried to pull down everything that Obama established. He tried to knock down the Affordable Care Act. He couldn't knock it down. So what he's doing right now, he's making it more difficult and more expensive to afford it. So he couldn't knock it out the park. He couldn't bring it down because too many people would be affected. But again, he called Obama the worst president in the history of the United States. That's what he said about Obama. And then he turns around and said, Biden is the worst president in the history of the country. Now, which one is it, Trump? I just need to know, because I have some news for you. In many polls and surveys that have been done, it has been said that you, sir, you, Donald J. Trump, you are the worst president that this country has ever seen. So, all right. I know some people would disagree because I know we've got some Republicans. Juan Johnson, thank you for being on, brother. Yes, because he is trying to make America white. What his logo or his motto is, make America great again. So I don't know. It's but Donald Trump has some issues going on and makes some important decisions. Now, a lot of people say, "Oh, he's accomplished a lot. The immigration thing is working, and we have people coming, than ever before, and that's all well and good. But meanwhile, while you got less people coming across the border, you are manhandling. In the Greek, that word is and means. Oh my God, it means mind. Ani, A-N-I means mind. And M-A-L means bad. So animal means bad mind. Okay. And so he is putting people who have been here for years. And don't get me wrong, I'm not suggesting that these people they're not all documented. Of course they're not. They're undocumented, but they're not bad people. Not all of them. Donald Trump needs to go after the criminals. Go after the criminals. Then you can settle this other stuff later, but get the criminals out of here. People that's been causing problems. Okay. And it's not, and by the way, Republicans, it's not just immigrants who are so involved in criminality. No. You've got people, if you just read the news lately, you got folks who are coming out of nowhere, just killing people left and right. That's what an animal will do. That's what animals do. Okay. So I just wish this country would wake up and understand what this man who calls himself our president, our leader, understand what he is doing. Understand all of these tariffs that he's been bragging about and slapping tariffs on all of these various countries. Well, you know what? Toyota just announced that they lost billions in the last quarter because of Trump's tariffs. So Trump is looking for the money to come in to America. Well, let's see if it comes in. And if it comes in, let's see where it goes, more importantly. Okay? Let's see where it goes. Not everybody agrees with Trump, especially when it comes to the immigration issue. In fact, I've got a young man. I'm going to put him on in just a second, but let me just acknowledge a couple of people. Paul Hinkle, thank you for tuning in, sir. Yeah, and Juan again says, but none of them people that says this cannot really give you give you an era where America was really great. That's true. Very true. Very true, Juan. Here's a young man who who's very opinionated about Donald Trump. 13 years old. 13 years old. I want you to listen to this guy. Nufford Sean Diddy Combs. America was really great. That's true. Very true.
How much we screw them over. Because Trump threatened on multiple occasions that he was going to invade Mexico. Trump said he was going to build a $60 million wall across the border so immigrants could not get into the country. And then he said he'd make Mexico pay for it, even though it was his idea. Trump also added unnecessary tariffs on Mexico. Not to mention, in the 1800s, we stole a bunch of land from them. Don't say conquered. We stole it. And don't say I don't love my country. I love my country enough to hold them accountable for their own actions. We've done so much to Mexico, but who was there first during the Texas floods? Not Kristi Noem, not Trump, not FEMA, but Mexico. Who was there during the Californian fires earlier this year saving lives? Mexico. So I will not tolerate Mexico slander.
that boy put it down. He said, I will not tolerate Mexican slander. Getting a lot of feedback and other things that are talking. See if we can correct this. Okay. I don't know what's going on, but we got too much stuff happening and we need to make sure that that is out of here. That young man spoke. He spoke with force. He had a voice that reminds me of a bellicose football player. You know, just spoke. He spoke that thing with force. I will not tolerate Mexican slander. Okay. Thank you, 13-year-old. I didn't get his name, but hey, he spoke his mind. And that's what I hope that we get more young people doing, speaking their mind. Speak up. You've got a great platform in which to do that with social media. You have a great platform. We didn't have this back in Monday. You know, it just wasn't there. But you've got a platform. You've got so many. You've got Facebook. You've got YouTube. You have Instagram. You have TikTok. You have Twitch. I think it's called Twitch. You got some other stuff here. I don't know. This people got so much stuff nowadays. Anyway, you got no excuse. Okay, so if you want to talk about some things, you got a great opportunity to do so. All right, why is Trump not addressing the Ghislaine Maxwell story? Why is he not addressing that like he should, like he really should? I think he just wants to stay away from it because it might incriminate him. You know. This woman is a convicted sex trafficker of underage girls under Jeffrey Epstein. She groomed these girls for her buddy, Mr. Jeffrey Epstein, and any of the other misguided human beings that she was associated with. Why is Trump not addressing the issue? I mean, they've asked him several times on news networks whether or not he would pardon her. You know, he didn't say he would, but he didn't say he wouldn't. And that's really an affront to all of the young girls who have been victimized by Jeffrey Epstein and this lady, Ghislaine Maxwell, and to anybody else who have participated. And I do have a special guest I'm going to bring on later on. It's going to talk about some of that. But it's just pathetic that our president, our leader, cannot focus enough and care enough about people to say no to this woman. It's not even a chance that she is going to be pardoned. That's what he should be saying, but he's not saying that. Is he a coward? Probably. He's worried about something. He's worried, sick about something. It just makes no sense. You know what's happening down in Texas right now? Redistricting. And it's not just happening in Texas. It's going to happen in other states. Keep in mind. It's like whatever Texas does, other Republican states wind up doing too. But they are redistricting in Texas. That means they're redrawing the lines in terms of the various districts. See, these districts were set up. Think about it like this. If you got a state, let's say you got a state with 20 districts, and in each one of those districts will have a representative. Well, what happens with if after the census, because you'll have a census every 10 years, what happens if you find out that most of the population has moved to, say, 3 or 4 different districts? So other districts are now still represented by that one representative. And now you've got this other huge district that's represented by how many? One, just one. You can see the disparity there. You can see what the game that they're getting ready to play. They're redrawing the lines to favor communities that are Republican so that Trump can get 5 additional seats in the House of Representatives for the midterm elections. See, the midterm elections are coming up, and this is what I want young people, Generation Z. This is what I want you to know. I want you to know that the midterms are coming up next year. And it's important that we flip the scale here, because so far the Republicans they're having their way. The president, the Supreme Court, House of the Representatives, the senators, they're all in cahoots with this guy named Donald Trump. So you've got to get out there. Listen, when the midterm elections come up next year, I hope you get ready. I hope you're listening to me, because it is important that you get out there and vote. This redistricting thing is not something to play with. Look, you know what the Democrats did in Texas to keep this new districting thing becoming law? What they did, they all packed up, many of them flew to Chicago and other various cities. But in Chicago, they had to remove them from a hotel because there was a bomb threat. These people were serious. They are serious. So I want you to understand, this man whose favorability rating right now is down to 37%, which is terrible. I want you to understand that they have a plan. And in their plan, they plan to take over. They plan to get stronger, to attain more money, more representatives, more power. That is what they're after. That's what they're after. All right. All right. So we're going to come back in just a moment here, and I have a very special guest. I want you to hang in there with us, and we're going to talk about some things that are very important. And we're also, after my guest, we're going to talk about some relationship items. Okay. So we will be right back after this commercial break with my special guests. Hey Detroiters, this is TJ Hemphill. Most of you know me from my plays, including Peerless Times. But what many of you didn't know is that I taught school for the better part of 40 years. As a matter of fact, I spent my last 12 years teaching science and ELA right here at Commonwealth Community Development Academy. It's a small school on Detroit's east side, but there's some big things happening. Especially this coming Saturday, August 2nd. It's a back-to-school rally. Let me introduce you to our principal, Angela Moore.
I'm Angela Moore, Superintendent and Principal of Commonwealth Community Development Academy. We are entering our 30th school year, founded in 1996 through Eastern Michigan University. Commonwealth is doing something magical in this neighborhood, and we are looking forward to individuals joining us for our Back to School Festival, Saturday, August 2nd, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. to come and check us out. We have rides, school supplies, food, and a lot of fun. Come out and meet our staff, meet our food service team, and have a good time with us as we begin the celebration of our 30th school year. It's the place you want to be. Reserve a seat for your child today. You can check us out on cwdacademy.com. Again, that's cwdacademy.com, or you can call us at 313-366-9470. We'll see you on Saturday, August 2nd, 10 a.m.
Yes.
Hey, Detroiters.
We had a very, very wonderful rally. I was there, and the rally was very well attended. A lot of kids. They had a lot of fun. They had rides and food and games. And Commonwealth is it's a very special school. First of all, it's special to me because it was the place where I spent the last 12 and a half years of my tenure as a school teacher and teaching science and history and other things like that. But it is a school that is small enough to embrace every student but big enough to chase every dream. I mean, your child will certainly benefit by being at Commonwealth. So check them out. Their number is 313-366-9470. 313-366-9470. So if you got children pre-K through 8, you want to get them enrolled and come. They're doing something very special. See, a lot of people have given up on the east side. Look, let me introduce my special guest before I keep going. My special guest tonight is Miss Lawana Kelly.
Hello.
Hello. All right.
Yes.
Nice to have you. Yeah.
Yes.
I wish I had an applause track, but I don't have one.
We're gonna
Okay.
get one.
All
Hello,
right.
everyone.
Okay. So let me just adjust your mic. There you go.
Okay.
All right. So glad to have you aboard
Thank you.
with us tonight. And as I was saying, before I get into your story again, I wanted to finish talking about the East Side. I'm from the East Side, and I grew up on the East Side. Where'd you grow up?
Born and raised on the east side.
East Side. Okay, what streets were you?
Crane and Gratiot.
Oh man, you was right there, Crane and Gratiot. All right,
Yes.
you weren't too far from me. Weren't too far, but a lot of people have given up on the East Side, but there are a lot of great things that are happening on the East Side of Detroit. One of the things that's still there is Commonwealth Community Development Academy. Get your kid there and watch your kid grow. Listen, my special guest, Lawana Kelly. Lawana, you have a unique story. Before you wrote a book and if we can get it up on the screen, Damaged Crowns Still Shine. Damaged Crowns Still Shine. When I first saw this book, and you, I was like, wow, what a great name. That's a very catchy name, and hopefully you're doing well with sales of the book. But more importantly, people are learning something from the book. You can bring that back down now, Nick. Thank you so much. But again, Damaged Crowns Still Shine. And by the way, that book you can purchase, ladies and gentlemen, on
www.damagedcrownstillshine.com
Okay.
or Amazon.
Okay. All right, good. So you can get it on Amazon. All right, you've got a great story. It's in a lot of ways it's sad, but in other ways it's inspirational. Tell us a little bit about your story.
Well, grew up on the east side of Detroit. My mom and my father, they separated. So we ended up moving on the east side. Then my husband got her ex-husband, let me clear that up, ex-husband started my mother on drugs. And I ended up living with my grandmother and my aunt. And I was groomed by my aunt's husband's brother. I was groomed. A lot of people don't know about the grooming process. And I ended up being sexually assaulted by my uncle. Well, I called him my uncle because that's what I call him in the story.
Yeah.
And just how I just persevered through life after that. I did not go to using drugs or alcohol. I relied on my faith to get me to where I'm at today.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Wow. And how old were you when this happened?
13 years old and 14 years old.
13 and 14 years old.
And it happened the worst. Do you remember the Naziah Harris story? How she was groomed?
I can't say that I know that story.
That story was when the uncle was sending her text message. She got pregnant and ended up dying at the hands of her predator. Everything Naziah Harris went through is something I went through. That's why I understood her story. Because she was me and I am her. And that's why when I speak about my story, I keep her voice alive.
How does a person come out of that darkness, that place? Because that's got to be something that stays in your mind day in and day out and night in and night out. And every time you look at the person who was the perpetrator and or your parents, and you've got the secret going on. Because I know, if I'm not mistaken,
Mhm.
I know there are a lot of women who will not say anything. They'll keep that secret.
It's true.
How do you come out of this dark place?
The predator actually said, if you tell, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that to you.
So they
Or
threaten you.
They threaten you.
Yeah.
So that threat still stay in that adult person's mind, in their head.
Mhm.
And I just thank God how it happened, where when I was pushed out the car, when he took me back home, the police and the police and my mom and dad, everybody was right there. And that's how he was caught. And the system should let me know that if I tell and talk about it, they're not going to let him hurt me. So it's all about a mindset.
Yeah.
We got to get over the fear. We have to get over just what that person said. Because some of them would say all they're doing is just talking. But
Right.
some people,
Yeah.
they came back and did it. So I can't say that, don't listen to that person.
Mhm.
But at the same time, find you a safe place and talk about it.
In the book, you reveal some very, very personal and intimate things that happened to you. You didn't hold back.
I did know.
You came out and said things that many people would probably never say. And why? Why did you do that?
Because of my faith. And because watching the Me Too movement, the P. Diddy women, the Einstein women, and I need to be a voice to let them know that it's okay to have a voice. It's
Yes.
okay to speak up. It's okay to talk about it.
Yeah.
It's so embedded. And this is going on like now with women that's 60 years old, 50
Uh-huh.
years old, never had a chance to talk about
Yes.
anything they're going through, anything. And I just want to let them know it's okay to free yourself, free your mind, and talk about it. Forgive. Forgiveness is one thing too. You have to forgive
Mhm.
your predator. Reason why? Because if you unforgiveness is like the weight of the world, like I'm running around the world with you on my back.
Mm.
And carrying the weight of the world, and it's wearing you down, it's causing your body to break down physically, stroke, heart attacks. Stress is the number one killer.
Stress. Yeah.
Yeah, so you gotta. I knew I didn't want to be there. I knew I had
Yeah.
to live and be a mother for my children. I wanted to be a good wife one day, and I told myself that. And
Mhm.
so I let myself to know it's okay
Mhm.
to speak up and speak out, and this is what I'm doing today.
Well, I admire your courage.
Thank you.
I admire your vision to help women, to tell them it's okay to talk about your story. It's okay to come out of that shadow, and because life still happens.
Can I say something?
Absolutely. Go
Do
ahead.
you know why a lot of people from, I'm going to say, the 90s, the 80s on back, is that one saying, what goes on in this house stays in this house, and that have messed up a lot of people.
Mm.
They feel like, what went on? I can't talk about it
Can't
because it's
talk
supposed to
about it.
stay in the house. We have to break that generational curse. We got to break that stigma
Yeah.
and speak up, because there's so many youth, young ladies is going through this right now.
Yeah.
And just because it was told to sweep under the rug,
Yeah.
we need to lift that rug and unsweep,
Yeah.
get that stuff
Right.
from under there. Because
Right.
there's so many people, and it's going like when the pandemic happened. My prayer was to protect every child that's being molested by their fathers
Mm.
and their uncles and their grandfathers.
Yeah,
and they
because
gotta
it's
live in
not
house.
just women, is it?
No, it's just not women. It's
Mm.
no.
Yeah.
It's just men, it's boys. Yes,
Yeah.
it's boys. It's happening too, and some of the predators are women.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Women.
That's because many of them are curious as well,
Yes.
and take advantage of young boys.
Young boys.
It's happening. This
This
is a generation that it doesn't seem to be ashamed of anything. But again, I just admire your courage. I admire what God is doing in your life.
Thank you.
And this book that you have out, Damaged Crown Still Shine. Listen, people, I've read the book. It's a good book. And when I say good, I mean it's a book that makes you aware of this issue. But it's written well, it's edited well. You gotta pick a copy up at Amazon. Luana Kelly, I'm proud of you,
Thank you.
and I know that you will continue to do everything you can to make life easier for women all over the country. You've been a blessing.
And the story, TJ, I'm sorry, is coming from a forgiving place. It's
Yes.
not coming from a hurt place. There's a difference.
Oh,
When you write a book to tell your story,
yes,
you got to come because you want people to get healing from it.
right.
Some people write books just to let their predator know what happened. Or I've seen women
Oh,
write
yeah,
books,
I've seen that.
write books
And they
to
attack the predator.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then like in relationships, they would write
Yeah.
a book to let that guy know how they made them feel, but not telling a woman how to heal
Sure.
from it.
Sure.
And it's a difference.
And there is that's a very good point, because women need to know how to heal.
How to heal is key.
How to heal. Wow, that's powerful. That's powerful. The book again is Damaged Crowns Still Shine, available on Amazon. You can get that book. And Nick, can you put the book up one more time? And Damaged Crowns Shine. There it is on your screen. Damaged Crowns Still Shine by Luana. When I first saw your name, I kept pronouncing Latwana. Twan, but the T is silent, is it? Okay.
Yes.
All right, Luana. Okay. Thank you so much for being our guest. Hang around.
Yeah.
We're going to come back and we're going to talk about some relationships. People, you're listening to Seasoned and Spicy. She's not here tonight, but we had a great show anyway. Okay.
Yes.
All right, we'll be right back. Hi, I'm TJ Hemphill. There's something special happening in a small neighborhood on Detroit's east side. Commonwealth Community Development Academy, a pre-K through 8 school, is quietly turning out brilliant students who move forward well equipped to tackle the challenges of higher education. With a project-based platform and a Success for All approach, your child's knowledge of subject matter will greatly increase while utilizing the wonderful world of creativity, imagination, and exploration. Because our focus is clear and our methods are proven, our students easily excel in math, science, reading, and vocabulary, all of which equip them for every task. Our children become more confident and embrace success instead of running from it. Call the school now at 313-366-9470 and set up an appointment to enroll your child not just in a school, but in a bright and successful future. CCDA, small enough to embrace every student, but big enough to chase every dream. All right, that's Commonwealth Community Development Academy, where Mrs. Moore, Angela Moore, is the principal. And I want you to get your kids over there. And the kids are, you have kids there from pre-K to eighth grade. And it's a wonderful school on the east side of Detroit. Again, call them at 313-366-9470. All right, we're at that point in our show where we talk about relationship issues. And again, I'm sitting here with my special guest tonight, Luana Kelly, who has written a very, very beautiful book, very important book, I should say. And so you're welcome to join in with us here. All right. Question number 1. How do you split household chores or responsibilities in the house? How do you split that? I'm talking about washing dishes, clothes, cooking, etc. How do you split that? Anybody got any answers on that? Okay. Anybody got answers? Okay, just call in 313-859-8858. I need you to call in. Okay. If you don't want to call in, you can put your comments in the comment section. We'll see if we can answer your questions or at least listen to your comments. Okay. How do you split household responsibility? What about your house? How do you split them?
How I split household chores is some things that I would do, far as the laundry.
Mm-hmm.
My husband bring the laundry bag downstairs, cutting grass right now because my husband has to have surgery. So I'm doing the lawn. I don't mind getting my hands dirty. A lot of women don't like to get their hands dirty. So I'll cut the grass and he'll sit there and support me. And house, we just work together, washing dishes, I'm a woman. Some things I keep clean, and there's some things that my husband do and keep clean. And then our children, they'll do some things.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, that's cool. I was looking in the comment section.
Mhm.
And Pam Stokes says, thank you, Luana, for being a voice for those women that can't or won't speak up. So you are a voice for that. Great, great. All right. So now here's a question. Here's a question. Should kids be paid to do chores today? This is a different era. This is Generation Z. Should kids be paid to do chores? Should they be paid? Nick says, nope.
I say no, and then I say if they want things, they have to earn it, and then that's when they get an allowance to do chores. But it's not like it's a it's not. It shouldn't be like it should just happen. So I just believe that it give and take. So
Okay.
that's my.
April Lundy says, absolutely not. Carolyn Hall says, no. Thanks for joining us, Carolyn. She says, no. So, wait a minute. You don't want your kids to get some, well, you call it allowance. No, there was a time when allowance was a big thing. I mean, back in my time, I'm not even going to tell you the decade because you'll start cracking up. But in any event, back in my time, man, we got allowances and so we got paid. We got paid. That was paid. Wasn't that paid? Wasn't that paid? Huh? That was paid. So you don't want to use the name pay or the word pay. I think the allowances should also reflect inflation.
See, the children now today is just different from our era.
Okay.
Our era was grandma didn't play going to bed with dishes in the sink. You got to iron your clothes before you go to bed at night. It was things that we had to do. But now the kids are just totally different. I don't even know what to say about it.
Okay. Zola says it depends on what each like to do. Some men like cleaning, but not cooking. So if I cook, he will clean. Okay.
Yeah, that's how it should be.
All right.
Relationship wise.
I get that. I get that. All right, let's go to the next question. Do you monitor? This is for the parents, of course. Do you monitor children's screen time? How important is it to monitor the kids' screen time today? And when we say screen time, I'm assuming we're talking about the phones. Because, look, you see, I got this phone right here. This is what most kids do all day. And so now schools that have policies, you got to drop that phone in a box when you come in and you don't get it back until school's out. But should parents monitor screen time?
I'm going to say no, because this is the parents. This is the parents. So the children are going to do what the parents is doing. This is the parents.
All right. So the parents are doing that. That's a big problem. They're doing
the parents is worse than the kids.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay. So, but they should monitor because there's so much junk out there. And I mean, stuff that, little kids should never be, when I was teaching school, I saw some things that kids were drawing that reflected, what they were seeing at home. It just was crazy. All right. Here's one is if a man marries a woman who has children, okay, or a child, how far can he go in disciplining them? How far? Come on, somebody out there, tune in on this one. If a man marries a woman who has children or a child, how far can he go in disciplining them? Because there are some situations where the man wants to discipline the child, and maybe he's doing it the way maybe he's not doing it the way that the mother wants it done. Okay. Any answers out there? Meanwhile, while you're bringing your answer, what's your answer?
Well, it's a difference. Okay, with my children, me being married, and with my children, even in relationships, I never allowed a man to discipline my children.
Oh.
And why? It's because me and my children had a good relationship. And
now, when you say a man, you're speaking like a boyfriend, right? Or
boyfriend. I never let them discipline my children.
But a husband
and a husband, no.
A husband can't discipline you.
Because you know what? Sometimes
this is your personal opinion, but go ahead.
It's sometimes I done seen women get married and allow their husbands to abuse their children, beat their children with a belt. That couldn't be me.
Okay, so you would have to monitor how he disciplines, or should he model the way he disciplined after the way you discipline? It's a touchy situation.
It's a touchy situation, but some people upbringing is to beat the heck out of children. What if you didn't get to beat as a kid,
Yeah.
and then you let this man come in, and then now your relationship with your kids is they're rebelling against you because you allow this man to come in to put his hands on me.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm against it.
I like Carolyn Hall's answer. She says that's something that should be discussed before marriage. Before you get married, you need to have a long, lengthy discussion about discipline. If a woman has children or if a man has kids, that's important. I thank you, Carolyn, for that perspective, because I think that's a very good answer. Something that you should talk about. Pam says discipline is also time out or taking away privileges. Don't always have to take a belt and things like that. Because I can tell you, I've seen some kids, woo, man. Like when I was a teacher and the kids acted up, I had a parent who I said, okay, now look, you keep talking, I'm going to have your parent come up here. It was one of the worst things that I thought I could do, because, and I'll tell you why, because that parent came up there and completely obliterated that child before all the other children. Oh my goodness, why did I should have never. Well, anyway, okay.
And then TJ too, with so many kids, the mothers allowing these men to discipline the kids, and then some kids are being killed, or just they handle the kids different, and they don't even hit their own kids.
Yeah, it's pretty
so
crazy.
It's kind of it's scary in this day and time, because you don't know who you marry these days.
Right. How do you balance independence? How do you balance that and togetherness in a relationship? There's a certain independence and togetherness in a relationship. How do you balance that? Okay. Or what can you do to, because, I mean, let's face it, when you get married, man, you like stuck.
It's like working together. It's no more me. It's no more you. It's us now.
It's us. Okay.
It's
I like that.
And you work together.
So do you ever seek independence? Do you want to be independent about certain things, and but that maybe it's different for your husband? Do you ever seek that?
I look at my husband as my peace.
Okay.
And when I'm going through something,
that's my peace.
He's my peace.
All right.
He's my peace.
All right. Now, when you say peace, do you mean PEACE, like peace and calm, or you talking about peace, like like that's my peace?
Peace and calm. Peace and calm.
Okay. I had to get that straightened out, man. Because
no.
All right. Let me just read this real quick. April London, reflecting on the previous question, says if your partner can't discipline your child, he or she should run. Oh, okay. Should run. If you don't trust him or her, don't marry them. Okay, don't marry them. That's where the discussion part probably comes in. True. That's where it comes in. Okay, all right. How would you describe? We're gonna change the narrative here, and the narrative. Let's deal with this question. How would you describe a perfect date? How would you describe a perfect date? Bless you for being on, David Brock. How would you describe a perfect date? Okay, single people out there, how would you describe it? Come on, how would you describe it? All right, and while you're trying to answer that question, maybe I'll throw another one at you because our time is starting to run out a little bit.
My perfect date is that a man come to take me out. He makes sure my kids, if I have children, is okay and they have something to eat.
Okay.
Then he
gotta
take
feed
me
them
out.
children.
Gotta feed them babies. Wait till a woman's hurt. It's through her children. And it should be. My baby kids ain't gonna be eating no oatmeal and I'm out eating steak. No, we ain't gonna do that. And take me out to dinner and probably go walk by the water.
Yeah.
So.
Now I grew up in a single parent home, just my mom and whatever else. And you know what? I didn't have a problem with her going out. And you know why? Because when she came back, she had shrimp. She everything that she had, she would always bring us back something, and we always look forward to it. So, all right, okay. What is the most important thing needed to resolve conflicts in a relationship? What is the most important thing needed to resolve conflicts in a relationship? How much time we got left? Okay. All right, we're counting down. Okay. And the question again is, What is the most important thing needed to resolve? You got 5 seconds to answer this. What's the most important thing you need to resolve conflicts in a relationship? Go.
Communication.
Communication.
Good
I knew that was going to come. Nick, you got one to resolve a conflict? What's the most important thing?
Understanding.
Understanding. All right, Pam, you got one? You got one?
Trust.
Huh? Trust.
Trust.
All right. Okay. The team says trust, communication, understanding. Your spouse says to you, I'm going on a retreat or sabbatical with 3 of my girlfriends. Says I need some space to just clear my mind. How do you respond, Nick? Nick, how do you respond to that? Come on, Nick.
What you mean?
I'm going to say it again. Your spouse says to you, I'm going on a retreat or sabbatical with 3 of my girlfriends. She says, I just need some space to just clear my mind. Been on a lot. How do you respond to that?
Go for it.
All right, Nick says go for it. He's a liberal man. All right. Very good. All right. Last thing on our agenda for tonight, relationship game. This or that. This or that. Are you ready for it? April, are you ready for it? Paul, are you ready for it? Zola, are you ready? All right. Would you rather go on a romantic getaway or stay in for a cozy night? Would you rather go on a romantic getaway or stay in for a cozy night? You got 5 seconds.
Cozy night.
She said cozy night. Of course, because you're married, right? Okay. Would you rather go on a romantic getaway or stay in for a cozy night? Can I get someone? Paul Info says bye. All right. Can I get anybody to respond on that? How would you what about you, Nick? You know, you're a young man.
I'm staying inside.
You staying inside. That sounds a little old fashioned.
Cozy.
That's what Generation
I don't
Z.
leave the house much.
Okay. All right. Wow. All right. Good deal. Zola John says cozy night. Cozy night. Okay. And April says romantic getaway. See how people are different. Everybody has a different. Okay. A romantic getaway. Next question. If your love story, if it was a genre, okay, would it be a drama or would it be a comedy? Okay. Somebody need to call in and give me a quick, funny story. Okay. If your love story, if it was a genre, okay, would it be a drama or would it be a comedy? Okay. Which one would it be? You can put it in the comment section. It's fine. Paul Henfield says Netflix and Netflix and net. You know, that word just bothers me. Netflix and chill. Okay, so a cozy night for Paul. All right, so love story, drama or comedy?
Mine comedy.
Yours is comedy.
Mine is comedy.
Oh, right. All right. And April says comedy. Yeah, people need to laugh, don't they?
They need
to laugh. These are tough times, man. People need to laugh.
You have so much to fight on the outside. You can't be in the house fighting with your mate. You gotta laugh.
That's so true.
And just enjoy each other because there's so much going on out in this world.
That's so true. You know, oh boy, what's his name? Tyler Perry became a billionaire making people laugh. You know, I did a play once, and the play ended kind of on a sad note. And the lady came to me after the show, and she said, "TJ, you need to change the ending of that play. People need to laugh," and she's right. She's right. People, especially us, especially Black folks, we need to laugh.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Last one. And then, would you rather receive a heartfelt letter or a surprise gift? Would you rather receive a heartfelt letter or a surprise gift? By the way, Troy, Troy Brown says comedy. He said his life would be a comedy. You're going to have to break that down for me later on, Troy, when I see you on the golf course. Okay. Would you rather receive a heartfelt letter or a surprise gift?
I say gift because a lot of us don't like to read. So I say gift.
You say bunk the letter, right?
Yeah, forget the letter.
You agree with that?
Yeah.
Forget the letter.
I said, give me the gift, whatever it is. You know, okay, give me the gift. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a ball tonight. Thank you so much for joining us tonight on Seasoned and Spicy. And Spicy will be back next week. Thank you, Luana Kelly, for contributing to our show and to the outlook for women. Your book is amazing. And people out there, please support. Just support. We need women who have the courage to tell things the way they should be told. See you next Thursday, same place, same time, 8 p.m. God bless you. Talk to you soon.